Steph.
He restored my soul.
That's good.
That's enough.
Yes, ma'am.
My topic for tonight is, it is well with my soul.
Oh, my. Steph. Do it, Steph.
That's it.
My brothers and sisters, it was last year on my first day of school when I stepped into the classroom at Virginia Union, where I was educated more about the legacy of a womanist theologian by the name of Reverend Dr. Katie Geneva Campbell.
Yeah.
Who challenged people to do the work your soul must have. I'll help you to understand that doing the work means that there is a focus and intent, and it is our diligent duty to fulfill our assignments with all our might. You see, our souls are the most precious and authentic component of our being. And when you do the work your soul must have, it's the work that connects to the deep sense of who you are and who God has called you to be. But as I continue to wrestle with the words of Dr. Cannon, I began to realize that on this journey of doing the work, it cost us some people, places, and some things.
Yeah, Steph.
There were times doing the work cost our souls to feel shattered because of the snakes that slithered their way into our lives. Furthermore, we as black and brown bodies know if we don't do the work won't be done for us. So we continue toiling to demolish systemic racism, sexism, classism, and ableism as we continue to speak truth to power, but the work continues to cost. Don't believe me? Look at Fannie Lou Hamer, did the work, but the work cost her to be beaten with loaded blackjacks, and she was nearly killed. Nipsey Hussle did the work in his community, but jealousy caused gunshots to take him out. Jesus did the work, and his work led him to the cross, but we continue to press on even when we get weary in well-doing, because we know that the same God of our weary years is the same God of our silent tears, and he is the same God that has the power to restore.
Set it up, Steph.
It is God who does the work to restore. Restore, translated as shuv in the Hebrew, meaning to refresh and to repair. And the first step in receiving God's power to restore is being honest with God about the current condition of your soul. For the Bible says, he restoreth my soul, which we find here in this beautiful anthology found in the Old Testament book of Psalms, sometimes called the Psalter. These 114 words begin by saying, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. My first point is, remember the shepherd of your soul. You see, at the time of our text, David had to remember who was the shepherd of his soul. And as encouraging as this psalm is, I still see there is tension in the text, because as David attempts to do the work, he never signed up for the attention or the attacks that came while doing his work. While David is doing the work, he honors the very person that tries to kill him. And doesn't that sound familiar tonight? You're doing the work, but in the midst of doing your work, you experience major attacks from every side. Attention you didn't ask for, adversity, but I came to remind somebody that the thief comes not but to steal, kill, and destroy. But God has came that he might have life and more abundantly. Listen, if we name it, I know ministry left some in misery. Toxic churches left some tormented. I know the pain decreased your passion. But this first verse offers a meaningful metaphor that is worth momentarily dissecting, because this metaphor of God as a shepherd becomes another image of who God is. And if the Lord is seen metamorphically as our shepherd in Psalm 23, it shows us that because our shepherd is present, we have a promise that the shepherd will supply, provide peace as he guides us through pathways, provide protection from predators, as we have a prepared table for us in the presence of our enemies. And the last promise in the text is that our shepherd will precede us all the days of our life. So if it's going to be well with our souls, we can't be deceived by the shadows of death. The Bible says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And as I read this one verse, the question I began to ask myself was, how can death be a shadow? Which caused my mind to reflect on my childhood moments when I would be fearful anytime I saw a shadow in my room during the night, because oftentimes the shadow will look bigger than the actual object that was in the room. But then I realized that a shadow is an area of darkness caused when light is blocked by something, which then caused me to realize that shadows cannot be in a dark room without light being present. What am I trying to say? You might feel like you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, but I came to announce tonight that it's just an optical illusion. An optical illusion is simply something that tricks and deceives the eye by appearing to be other than it is. So be thankful that you still see some light even in dark places, because the last time I checked, the Bible says that the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? My third point is the shepherd has power to restore.
That's good. I see your exit.
The last thing I want to say is, one thing that intrigues me since I'm relocated to Houston in January is its weather. A few weeks ago, Houston had a storm during the week of May. This rainstorm was so intense that it lasted on and off for 3 days. We knew this storm had potential to be serious because the church closed early on Thursday, all day Friday, and all day Saturday. This storm caused the mayor of Houston to tell people to stay home from the Astros game on Thursday. This storm was something else because cars were getting stuck, trees fell on homes, which caused me to feel overwhelmed thinking about those who were homeless. And then on the other side, I thought about those who had homes, because this storm knocked their power out. But the good news is that not many days after the storm, their power was restored. See, some of the storms we faced since this time last year when we met at Hampton caused some damages in our lives. But I decree and I declare that God shall restore your soul. After the storm of betrayal, your power will be restored. After the storms of frustration and disappointment, your power will be restored. After the storm of divorce, your power will be restored. After the storms in ministry, your power will be restored. After the storms of rejection, your power will be restored. After the storms of being weary, your power will be restored. And I believe that despite all of the storms that we face, as we did the work our soul must have, the promise is that He will restore your soul. In the Hebrew, soul literally means breath. And tonight, the God of your soul comes to breathe new life into you. For God has the power to to revive and return. God has the power to reverse and revoke. And tonight I prophesy in this place that when anxiety attacks, it shall be well with your soul. When you feel burning in ministry, it shall be well with your soul. If cancer hits your body, it shall be well with your soul. If depression tries to defeat you between